Happy day, students. So class 6, this is term 2, your first chapter in term 2, that is QBasic statements. Remember I told you that you will be learning programming. So it's we are beginning with the programming. Yeah, chapter 7, QBasic statement. So what is QBasics? It's a programming language that you might have understood by the time I spoke with you, right? It's created by Microsoft, and basically this was called Beginners All-Purpose Symbolic Instruction Code, that is basics. Yes, so to begin with programming skills, to enable us to learn programming, other programming languages like C, C++, Visual Basics, we will start initially with QBasics. Fine. So now let me take you through the chapter. So topics covered: rules of QBasics, QBasic data types, let statement, print statement, input statement. So rules of QBasics, we'll just have a glance. First thing is that it should be a series of commands. Second thing is regarding its syntax, that is written in, that it should be written as a set of rules for a language is known as syntax. Third point is statement should be at least one QBasics command. Okay, don't get panic, you will be understanding by the time I finish this chapter, you will be understanding what is a QBasics command. Okay, so don't get panic. So these are the basic rules. The rules are very important, so please learn them thoroughly. Yeah. So the keywords, which means those are basically like private words for this language, are known as keywords. And the syntax is a way of writing something is known as a syntax. You have seen as a second point in the rules. Statements are executed in the order they are written. Okay, unless they are given a if statement. If a condition or something is given, then it will jump other than that. So first rules has been over. Now QBasics data. Okay, so basically QBasic data consists of two. One is constant variables and constants and variables. So first is constants, that does not change the value. We say a person is a constant character, which means the person's value does not change during execution. In constant itself we have two. One is numerical constant, that is the numbers. Numerical means numbers. The real numbers or integer, positive, negative, those are known as numerical constants. Like I say, for the value of 12, does positive value of 12 varies day by day? No, right? Once you assign to value 12, it remains the same. Yeah. So we can conclude that should not this numerical constants value does not change. Secondly, there should not be any special characters. The second type is alphanumeric or string constant. Alpha, which means alphabets, right? So alphanumeric means it can contain alphabets as well as numbers. A sequence of characters like A to Z, Z to a small letter, A to Z, 0 to 9, all will fall under, all these special characters, everything will fall under alphanumeric or string constants. Yes? Got it? So you have to recollect these special symbols. So we can say that when you are writing alphanumeric or string, you have to put it in double quotes. Can you see the Raghav, sum is equal to, so whatever you put in that double quotes is considered as a string constant. Then comes the variables. Variables means we need a location in which value can any value can be assigned. It holds the value until another value is assigned to it. Okay, in that also we have two types. One is numerical variable and the other one is alphanumerical variable. Okay, earlier we learned constant two types, numerical and alpha. Now we are learning variables two type, numerical and alpha. Okay, numerical, which means variables will be so should not have any space or symbols, and it can be used for arithmetic calculation. For example, they are shown you like A is equal to 20, A, B, C. So these are AB2, A and A underscore 6, all are variables. Then comes the alphanumeric. So similar to constants, we over here also we have alphanumeric strings. So it's used for represent the alphabet. You use this dollar sign. So it can contain letters, digits, underscores, and this can even be but this cannot be used for arithmetic calculation. Only numerical variables can be used for arithmetic calculations. Fine. So I hope this is clear. You can see it consider double quotes. And now next is types of modes in QBasics. There are two types. One is direct mode and programming. Direct mode is when you give a particular like print particular statement, it gives you output immediately. Program mode is you will write a set of sequence of lines or statements in QBasics and then you will run the program. Fine. So line by line instruction, when it get executed, we call them to a direct mode, and when it is written as a program and executed one by one, it is called as a program mode. You can see over here print 10 plus 5. When you put an enter, it will come as single line. Program mode, you can see here written lines 10 to 40. Together I will be compiling and running the program, not line by line. Yes, in your textbook page number 47, you can see a diagram next to program mode. That is very important. So you can see over here 10 REM. REM means, I'll just explain this program once. REM means you remember or asking the computer to inform whenever a person is running a program. That's the information passed to their programmer that this particular program was assigned done for calculating the sum. Then print is to display the value. So you will be learning print and input statements. So print 10 plus 5 means display the value. So 10 plus 5, what is the value? 15, right? So it will come like the 15 will be printed. Print 10 plus 5 in double quotes. So whatever comes in the string, it will be printed as such, and then shows the end of the program. Okay children, when this chapter starts, you have to be very clear with the syntax and how to write them. Nothing to worry, it's very simple. So clear screen is used to clear the output of the screen. If you like you are running too many programs one behind the other, if the previous output program is there, then maybe you may get confused. For that sake, we are using clear screen. Then we have the let statement. Like we will say let value, we are assigning a value to a variable. Let's say like a is equal to 5. So we'll give like let a is equal to 5 or b is equal to 15. So you can see the syntax on the screen. Syntax, line number, let. Yeah, so we'll just have an example over here. Let a is equal to 5. You can see I'm typing, it's seen on the screen. So what happens? Variable a will have the value 5. A sum is equal to a plus b. So value of a and b is assigned to the result, and resultant value will be stored in variable sum. So let a is equal to 10 we are giving, b is equal to 15. So we assign the value a for a and b. Then we are saying c is equal to a into b. So whatever is the product of a into b will be stored in C. Yes, next comes the print statement. So let's see what we all learned. First we have C. So I just missed to inform you the command. Command means if you want to put some line that need not be executed in the program, we call it as a command. And then we have let statement that I explained it just now. That will be assigning values. Then the print statement that I told you that whatever you want to print, use the keyword print and write it in it, it will be displayed on the screen. Once you try it out at home using online compiler seen on the screen, you will be able to figure it out. Yes, 10 plus 5 runs, so you can see 15 is coming over there. Okay, now imagine I am putting double quotes over here. You not imagine, just see what's happening. Now, observe what is happening. You could, after 10 plus 5, one blank line was there. I'll just add one more line so that it's clear for you. Ten plus 5. So 15 comes in, the other one, whatever comes in, whatever is there in the double quotes is appeared. Yes, then we have the print. We have first one type of print is print with semicolon, which is used to print values one after other without leaving space in between. So this is the syntax for that. Line number, print, variable, semicolon. So all these variables will be printed without leaving space in between. If you give a comma, then it comes as a, there will be spaces, plenty of spaces in between. The same thing instead of semicolon if you are giving comma. Okay, let's see how semicolon works, and only then you will understand since you are new to programming. Don't worry, I'll take it very slow. So let's see, I'm assigning the value of x, y, z. Since they are alphabets, I put the dollar sign. Semicolon I give it. So see how the output comes in. Just have a look. Yes. Yes, then we have print with semicolon. So it will vary values with a plenty of. Yeah, so this is a syntax. with comma I am telling you. You can see it over here, x z is equal to x plus y. Next we have print tab function. So tab function for indicating a particular column. Like I'm saying, if you want to type your name below the name, like the header name, the name, your names, whatever you're giving, like a table, it has to be appeared. In that case, you will be using tab function. You can just see on the screen. Next is leaving blank lines. I already shown you when I write only print statement, a blank line appears over there. Next is input statements. Fine. So input statement, it means you can see if you want to read value into the computer, if you want the user to input value while I'm running the program, I can use input. Line number, input variable a comma b comma, so like that I can give. Yeah, just have a C. RAM, as I told you, to give a input. So this is name, class, school, and print. So it will wait for me to enter my name, class, and role, say school, and then it will be displayed. So you can see over here one more example we have been explained, where marks of subject has been read and I'm giving the input and it is okay. So input messages will be displayed. So is the chapter clear to all of you? Now we have a lab activity video done. Yes, the same I'll be sharing in this text as an e-content. Okay.